All right, this is review video number 3. We're going to be talking about polynomial vocabulary. So first we've got this table that we want to fill in. The first row has the polynomial 3 minus 6x plus 4x squared. We want to put that in standard form. So remember, standard form means that we want to put those terms in order from the highest power to the lowest power. So it looks like this term needs to come first because it is the highest power term. So 4x squared is our leading term. And then we want to go down from there, minus 6x, and constants always come last. They have power 0. So now that we have the function in standard form, we can write down the degree and leading coefficient. The degree and leading coefficient both come from that leading term. The degree of the polynomial is the power of that leading term. So this is degree 2. The leading coefficient is the coefficient of that term. So it is 4. For the next polynomial, it looks like the highest power term is this degree 5 one. It's already in the lead, but the other two aren't in the right order. So 8x to the 5th to start. Then we should have that 14x to the 3rd because we want them from highest power to lowest power, and that minus 3 is going to come last. Its power is 0. So our degree of this polynomial is 5. The degree is the highest power of any one term, and the leading coefficient is 8. That would be the coefficient of that most powerful term. Okay, the last one is 5 minus 2y squared. So our term with the highest power is this one. Make sure you grab the negative with it. It's negative 2y squared. And then that 5 is positive. Remember that the signs go with what precede, the signs precede the term. So that 5 is a positive 5 and that 2y squared is a negative 2y squared. So our degree here is 2 and our leading coefficient is negative 2. All right, parts B and C ask us to create a polynomial. So it gives us a lot of information. So first it says we want a degree 5. So this is telling me about the power. It says it needs to be a binomial. So that means it needs to have 2 terms. And it tells me that the leading coefficient needs to be a negative number. So there's not just one right answer here. You could have lots of things. We know that it needs to be negative. You could pick, any coefficient here that you want. Our power of x needs to be 5 because we know it's a degree 5. And then because it's a binomial, we have to have another term. So your answer should have this form. I suppose you could have picked a different variable as well. You could have said negative something y to the 5th plus something. But, it's your choice what you want to put in there. Negative 7x to the 5th plus 4. Or you could even put an x to the 4th here if you wanted, as long as your power doesn't go higher than 5. So lots of possible answers there. You could have negative x to the 5th plus 1. That would be fine as well. So the things to make sure are that you have 2 terms, that the highest power is 5, and that the leading coefficient is negative. All right, so the next one says a degree 2 trinomial with a leading coefficient of 4. So our power is going to be 2, our highest power. Trinomial means that we've got 3 terms. And it tells us that our leading coefficient has to be 4. So it's got to start with that 4. I'm going to use x. You can use a different letter if you want. 4x power 2. So that's my leading term. This is a trinomial, so we have to make sure we get 3 terms in it. And since since the squared has to be the highest power, this term will just have to have a power 1, and my last term will have to be a constant, because I can't have like a power 3 or a power 5 or anything. Otherwise, it wouldn't be degree 2. It would be that higher degree. So again, you could put whatever coefficients here that you want, maybe a 3 and a 1 or whatever. Doesn't matter, as long as your answer has 3 terms, leading coefficient of 4, and the highest power needs to be 2. All right, we've got some missing coefficients here. So we need to figure out what number goes in this box and what number goes in this box over here. So what you want to do to answer these questions is focus on each type of term. So this is we call it a quadratic term. It has a power of 2. We're trying to find this mystery coefficient that also has a power of 2. And then on the other side of my equation, I know that those two need to add together to give me a negative 6x squared. So I have negative 2x squared plus mystery number equals negative 6. So our mystery number needs to be negative 4, because negative 2 plus negative 4 gives me negative 6. And you want to do these by just thinking about it term by term. The next mystery number is the coefficient of x, the linear term. So here's my other two terms that have an x. So if we are looking at these blue terms to figure out what goes in the box, we've got a 7x and a negative 3x, and that has to equal mystery number x. So that mystery number has got to be a 4, because 7 minus 3 is positive 4. All right, so this was review video number 3. So try out these problems and check your answers either on the paper, or you can check them in Canvas if you want to see full solutions. Thank you.